welcome back to Orchid Delirium. I'm Brenda, and pardon the mess, we are under construction. This arrived, threw it up as fast as possible, put everybody back in here any way they could fit, and just sealed them up and tried to get them back into their normal climate accommodations. Everything is just kind of temporarily affixed. I haven't actually put any holes in the vinyl to run wiring through. I'm still trying to figure out what I like. I do believe I'm going to change out that fan because it's just definitely, it was barely strong enough to move air in the smaller tent. It's definitely not going to work in here. It just put everything up in maybe not a permanent way. I haven't decided yet how I want to proceed. I definitely have to pay attention to the humidity, the cozier, cool spots, the warmer spots, the hotter spots, who needs more light, so everything's still going to be kind of moving around, and it's going to be a little chaotic for a while because it's kind of a slow process. The orchid will not really show its feelings towards like if it's comfortable where it is for a little bit. So we're gonna have some growing pains, and hopefully I can get everyone back into their cozy little spot. And ideally I'd like to change the wiring where they all hang off of. I'm not sure what direction I want to go in yet, but I would love to have each spot like named, almost like a pegboard for tools where people kind of draw out what goes where. Because every time I water them and I put them back, if I take down 3 or 4 to water in a batch and then I go to put them back up, it's like always a struggle. Like, where was this one? Like, how did all these fit here and now they don't? Like, what did I do wrong? So they never really are put back where they started off. And this is my very sad Escacentrum christiansonianum, and if you saw my unboxing for this one, it arrived in really rough shape. It has since dropped all of its little fronds, and it's down to 1, and the roots, no sign of new roots yet, and so I don't know how to proceed with that. But this is one of my christiansonianas, and it was in bud, but I have since repotted it because I spotted a bush snail. So that bud has been aborted. My Sophronitis cane, they are doing okay. I really don't like fern bark. It doesn't dry for me. I have a lot of rot issues with it, so I'm just I need to get to my vendor of bark and get some more. Let's just not even talk about this one. Mealy bugs were deep inside of it, and I didn't know. There was no signs of it, and by the time enough leaves fell where like I could see in the crown, they were deep in there at work. I'm holding on to the little root ball. I'm hoping something will come of it, but most likely not. I'm just taking a look at everybody in here. My muscosa, just so cute, and unfortunately I wet that bud, so I'm just going to anticipate it blasting. My Leonoas putting out new roots, coming out of its dormancy, and it's just really taken off, and it's loving being in this tent and being close to the light source. So now let's travel back outside of my tent and just see what's going on. My Frag Parisi is on its last bud. It put out 3 in total. This bloom, was a little slower to come out, a little weaker, a little smaller, a little less pigmented, so it's definitely its last one. Here's my little quad group of cutie pies. I think they're gonna go into the grow tent. I'd love to mount them, but that's a project for another day. My Encyclia radiata, I cannot wait till these blooms go away. They are nauseating, but they're beautiful. Their scent just, I don't know. I can't with their scent. It is so strong, and I have a heaven scent redolence with 3 full bushy bloom spikes, and this overpowers it. This plant is like an eighth the size with like, I don't even know, like 6 blooms, and it overpowers hundreds of like oncidium blooms, which is incredible. My Stanhopea just going nuts with growths. My Tolumnia deciding whether it hates me or not. Losing some of the little fronds here and there. They're getting a little rot in them, so I have since changed how I'm watering it, and now I mist it whenever I remember. This is one of my ceiling catasetums. I believe this is Rebecca Grapefruit crossed with Hilltop. She's done. I've spoken about this Dendrogrianum before, but Orchid D, Deanna, actually warned me against letting these new growths bloom, and I did it anyway because I'm a selfish person, and I'm seeing the little sapling growth just kind of struggling and halting. So yeah, she warned me. Anyway, this is my Oncidium Heaven Sent, and it is just full. It kind of got weak towards the end of the bud, the inflorescence. They got kind of sparse, so I'm thinking that might be a light issue. I probably shouldn't have moved it up top where there's just less light. Let's take a quick look at my plants outdoors. Those are my epidendrums that I repotted a couple videos back, and these are just some no ID dendrobiums that I've acquired. I think some of these I might have actually bought. This is a no ID antelope type that just keeps fighting a fungus, and it just refuses to grow its tall, like 2-foot long canes. They've just kind of stunted, so it might be the Lecca situation. This one is just the cutest little bundle. It was a rescue, no ID. It has white and magenta flowers. There's like an ant colony living in it. And sorry for jumping around so much, but just kind of nothing really impressive going on outside except for vegetative growth and the colonization of these plants by the natural world insects. So they're just kind of having the time of their life, but this is what's going on in my yard, and they're just my palm tree orchids, and when they bloom I'll show them off. But thank you so much for stopping by in this very disjointed video. I appreciate you sticking it out. See you later.